So what's next?
All right, our follow-up segment. We talked about minimum wage. So I just called it minimum wage versus rent. So I seen an article where basically they were speaking about minimum wage and how minimum wage is just not enough, to afford your rent. I mean, some people are paying over 30% of their income is going towards, their rent or whatever you may have it. But peep this now. Mm-hmm. Arizona, California, Colorado, Oregon, Washington's minimum wage. Those are just 5 states out of the 50 that is enough to cover for a 1-bedroom apartment.
In Georgia, it says you have to work 100 hours a week to rent a 2-bedroom apartment.
If overtime is available on your job.
But if it was, do you know how long that is? I mean, I wouldn't.
Right, I get it.
80 hours, that would mean that you work 16 hours a day? Like, what are you talking about?
I think the most I ever worked in a week maybe was about 60 hours.
You need to make $17.53 per hour if you want to work a normal business week in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment.
At what a 2-bedroom at how much a month? Did it say? So that might even be on the low end.
Yeah.
But you know what's the nation's most expensive state? Hawaii.
Yeah, of course. But look how far away they are. Everything has to be imported.
Their state minimum wage is $10.10 an hour. It say to afford an apartment, you will need to be making around $13 an hour. Arkansas is the lowest. $8.50 is their minimum wage. You would need to make $13.84 an hour just to obtain basically a 1-bedroom apartment. And it's saying that us around. I mean, basically in America, like it needs to be anywhere between $17.90 to $22.10 in order to afford a 1 to 2-bedroom apartment. But you got to also understand your living expenses too.
Right. It says that in Georgia, to answer your question about the monthly rate, they're saying 2-bedroom between $778 and $911 a month around, and that's normal. That's basic. I mean, that's like in the
2-bedroom. That's low end. That's a low end 2-bedroom.
$911.
Yeah, that's a low end 2-bedroom.
That's
crazy.
But minimum wage is the federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour,
and the average for America.
And in Georgia, it is too.
The average for America. For renters is $16.88 an hour. That's on average what we as America make an hour for somebody that's renting out an apartment.
In the 30303 zip code, which includes most of downtown Atlanta, 2-bedroom you have to make $19.81 an hour. The rent is like $1,000. And I don't even know where you can find a 2-bedroom apartment for $1,000 downtown. I don't know.
I don't say, because I seen a damn studio where I was doing security at that. The studio was like $1,400.
Wow. So that just ties into really slavery. I mean, low wage work, and then you don't want the immigrants to come in. The whole Trump ran his whole campaign on the fact that if we have stronger immigration policies, then it will make for more jobs for people that don't make a lot of money.
But on the flip side of that too, I feel like renting a house is cheaper. Or
Absolutely,
even,
buying a house.
But guess what come into that though? Credit.
The maintenance. But I think even you can rent a house for way cheaper, like for the same amount that you can for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
you can find a house. You probably can get rent for like
$700-800. Yeah,
and then you get a whole house. You don't have to worry about maintenance or anything. Like, so I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just you got to look at different options.
You have to weigh out your options.
Pros and cons to it though, because sometimes you may find an apartment where lights and water may be included.
Right.
Versus a house, you got to pay light, water, and that. And then if something break. I mean, of course you could call the landlord on it, but what if you don't have a dependable landlord? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Donald Trump is saying that if you want to keep your low-income jobs and your low-income apartments at the same time, then we have to get rid of immigrants. That's what he said. That's what he ran his whole campaign
Shit,
on.
I think immigrants the ones that actually help it out.
But he detracted his statement recently, though, didn't he?
About what?
About the immigrants. He's like now.
Okay, so that was because they were taking away the children when they got here. They were taking away their kids, and before they had a policy where you got to keep the families together. So they said that they have a zero tolerance policy, and then he switched it back because he started getting bad press. You know, all the media outlets started showing up at the centers and saying, you know, what conditions are these children being held under, and why would you separate somebody from their kid? They were saying that some of those people sent their kids here alone just to go make it on their own, just push their kids out. So they have different policies for different scenarios. Mm-hmm. And so what they were saying is that, you know, this immigration policy is like not going to work. So they sent him back to the drawing board and he reversed it. And his wife went to Texas to go visit the children to check out the facility. And she held on a jacket, and on the back it says, "I don't care, do you?" And that was the news in a nutshell for the week.
Backwards. The whole thing is ass backwards, and it's like you want us to thank you for doing something that
he created.
Really
he started a fire and he put it out, and he wants us to praise him for putting it out, and that's what happened.
That's what he's been doing his whole campaign. His whole campaign, he's been paying people to do shit.
And Jeff Sessions is again thrown under the bus because he's the one that had to step out and announce this zero tolerance immigration policy, and later had to go on and say, "We never meant to separate the children from their parents. We never meant to have the children under any harm. That was not our intent." So now they changed it. So they're reuniting children with their families allegedly as we speak, but there are still a few hundred children that they haven't reached their parents yet. So as the world turns under the Trump administration, hopefully they find a way to get him out soon. Please, 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 please.
Bernie Sanders supposed to be running again. From what I understand.
Oh my goodness. He's going to be 100 years old. No thank you. We need to not.
But you gotta understand, we got what, like 3 more years? 2 or 3 more years?
I mean, still, he's already campaigning.
Somebody gonna step up to the plate.
Whoever needs to step up is gonna have to step up. I heard Joe Biden was gonna run. I mean, maybe Cory Booker.
Biden run, who's gonna be his vice?
I don't know. Maybe Cory Booker. You know, after it all goes down to the wire, they start teaming up with each other. But I think Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris. What if Maxine Waters ran?
What if Keisha Lance Bottoms ran?
She old too.
So are they all not old?
What I about to say? What's Trump dude named Pence?
Oh yeah.
I ain't heard from him in a while.
Well, you never hear from him because he's not to be heard.
It seemed like we was hearing a lot from him. And
because they were having to split up and do all the campaigning and, you know, pushing all these crazy ass policies, and he was just talking about how he hated, you know, anything that has anything to do with gay or lesbian, LGBT, he doesn't like it. So that's why we heard so much about him. But there's nothing for him to say. He's really keeping quiet because don't forget, Trump is still under investigation. His lawyer is about to turn state on him. And I mean, yeah, the Russia investigation is still going on. Don't sleep. Like, a lot of bombshells been dropping about that too. We got to do some follow up on what's going on with that next time when we come back, because Cohen, he is supposed to be cooperating with the feds, and that is his old lawyer that he has since fired, among the 50 million other people that he fired. So we still got to be prayerful that they're going to get him out. I mean, this immigration thing really pushed a lot of the Republicans on our side.
In the meantime, I'm gonna need us to get some better jobs, because it's $8 an hour, $9 an hour shit.
Well, demand better pay. We gotta demand better pay. I mean, I know that we don't have any.
Georgia is so fucked up.
But it's the whole South.
Not necessarily, because in Florida, I mean, I was making a decent living. I mean, the same job you getting paid to do here in Georgia, you get $3-4 more for in Florida.
But there's more people here in Georgia, so that's probably has something to do with it. I don't know. Florida has its downside. You have too many hurricanes and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but you experience it more so in South Florida than North Florida. No, North Florida, you get it, but
I mean, Miami is a port city. They have port cities there, so of course they're gonna have more jobs there, and they pay more. They make more money.
A lot of cocaine and kids in them damn ports too.
Kids. Oh, you mean like
They
traffic?
traffic them kids in them damn ports too. They just put little holes and shit in it. Yeah.
You know that all those shelters where they're holding the kids, like they're making money. Like one of the people that's making money is like the food distributors. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The people that are building these facilities. There's money being made. It's just like the prison system. All that prison system money is split up between, it seems like, African Americans and immigrants.
You hit the nail on the head when you said that.
So think about this. They could use those children or people in those places and make them work and, well, I don't know, build the wall or whatever. You know what I mean?
And that's why I don't understand about Trump, because it's like, okay, we as Americans are fighting to raise the minimum wage, but do you realize the immigrants will come over here and they will work from little to nothing?
That's
and
why
they will
make it
work.
Messing up jobs for black people. Remember he said the blacks, the Democrats haven't done nothing for y'all for
years.
years.
Messing up jobs for us. We lazy as fuck. We don't want to get off our ass.
That is not true.
That is true.
We do want
we
jobs.
Lazy as fuck.
But I mean, to the defense of, do you know them messing up the job? Like when I used to work at the hotel,
the cleaning ladies and stuff.
They don't have like they proper paperwork, so they working for whatever. And like the manager was telling me, he said, man, they working for less than minimum wage.
Wow.
Like, but they can't get another job, so it's like they
do whatever they can do.
I'm like,
see, we're not willing to do that. We are not willing to do that.
And you know, the housekeeping team was full of Hispanic, Spanish people, Mexicans, and black women. But that's crazy.
I just think we settle. We as blacks, we settle. Like
Yeah.
we have some that are lazy, but we have some that settle. Like some people, they'll work at McDonald's for 10 years and be okay with the end of their life making $13 an hour as a manager at McDonald's, when you can push yourself to either go back to school
this is
or go through some type of a management program and get another job. Like call centers, there's money to be made in call centers.
Yeah.
There's money to be made in being a CNA. There's money to be made to do anything that you want to do. You just have to apply yourself.
I mean, this is where I don't think that it's as much of a race thing as it is of a wage thing. You know what I mean? Like poor people in general, and not just, just poor people in general. It's a mentality that some people get stuck in. But what I was going to say is, in the South, I know that there's not a lot of, what do you call it when your company gets together and you have unions? Mm-hmm. Whereas like on the East Coast and kind of like in the Midwest, and they phased out, and they're phasing it out of the North too, because a lot of the people that are the lawmakers in the federal level are from the South.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Georgia don't have a lot of unions.
I mean, but we used to have a lot of unions, and without those unions, these companies are going. The companies is who the government is in my eyes. You know what I mean? It's not really the people like Trump, yeah, blah blah blah, but it's the people that are in his ear, the NRA. The GEs, the big pharmaceutical companies. Those are the people that run this country. And if we, as the people that work for these people, that make them for what they are, don't demand more money, these people make hand over fist millions of dollars just in bonuses. You can share the love. You know what I mean? That's what. But you don't have to be in a union to have a union mentality. If you and your coworkers just put your foot down on some shit, go on strike. Nothing is holding you there. That's why I hate when people be like, I'm at work. Oh, I'm on the plantation. No, you're not. You are at a job that you can freely walk out of if you are not happy.
But some people are just afraid. Like,
well, don't be afraid.
They don't have support. Like they trying to figure out what their next meal.
Don't be afraid. You gotta depend on faith.
They go back to the slavery as a choice mentality.
You gotta. Okay, right. Those people were willing to die.
Analogy is the same thing.
Right. Well, those people that were willing to would rather have died than go through that. So when you see somebody struggling and then they commit suicide, how do you know that's not one of those people that was just like, yo, I'm out. I'm not going to be struggling on these jobs, and I'm not trying to be involved in all this, whatever. I'm out.
You just got a weak mindset. That's all that is.
I mean, it's all on what you. It's all on what you do.